It begins!
Stop me if you heard this story before. A young orphan boy who's an outcast in his village, but with a optimistic and energetic spirit, strong will, works hard to be the leader of his village. As his story continues, he'll go on adventures, make friends, and get stronger along the way, while also possessing a dark and mysterious power. Of course, I'm talking about Naruto. No, I mean Black Clover. Naruto ended its run on November 10th, 2014. Black Clover began its run on February 16th, 2015, nearly 3 months later. Coincidence? I think not. Okay, there has been a controversy that initially surrounded the series about how it's basically a ripoff of Naruto. And yes, you do see that with the first, I would say, 10 chapters, but then it becomes its own animal. One of the things that Black Clover does to set it apart from Naruto is it follows a more fantasy aspect, more fantastical story. It takes place in several magical kingdoms, and it follows the tropes of RPGs and such. Also, it takes place in a world where instead of shinobi, there's magical mages and magic knights. It does fall into some of the tropes that you would see in magical RPGs like dungeon crawling. Heck, there was even an entire story arc just of that. Now let's take a look at the characters, or the ones of any merit anyway. First, the main character, Asta. He follows the orphan but a bit dim but good-natured, possessing a strong sense of justice personality type. Even after years of training, he still doesn't have any magical ability, but he does have a really intense physique. That's to count for something, right? In order to protect everyone he cares about, he wants to become a magic knight and then the magic emperor. Just like Naruto wanted to become a shinobi and then Hokage. Well, anyway, when he does get his grimoire, he realizes that he's anti-magic. He can cancel out any kind of magic. He eventually hooks up with the most ruckus and magical guild in the entire Clover Kingdom, Fairy Tail. No, I mean Black Bull, the Magic Emperor. A good-natured but extremely powerful mage who's the head of the Clover Kingdom's mages. He has a bit of a silly personality, especially when he sees magic or a type of magic he's never seen before. You know, a fellow orphan of Asta, and also wants to become the next Magic Emperor. And he's also Asta's rival/friend. Noah, the resident tsundere, comes from a royal family, but because she can't control her magic very well, her family treats her like crap. She still puts on a superior front whenever they're not around though. Also, she's in love with Asta. Vanessa, Black Bull's resident laid-back drunk, also which we learn later on, may also have a crush on Black Bull's leader, Yami. Charmy, uses cotton magic, eats and sleeps mostly, has a ravenous appetite, and mostly is there for comic relief. Fenrir uses teleportation magic, is a wannabe womanizer, a bit of a wimp, but he tries hard. Yami, the mysterious, take no crap, but incredibly laid-back leader of the group. Gosh, scary looking and has a possible baby sister fetish, uses mirror magic. And now some pros. The series has a nice art style and fun characters. The writing moves at a brisk pace, so you don't have really long drawn-out story arcs. A usual arc is about 2 to 3 months long, which equals to about roughly 1 volume. The character types of the main cast is enjoyable, and they do receive character development as the story arcs go on. Art-wise, the level of detail of the surroundings and the effects can be astounding, and it's even more impressive considering this is a weekly action fantasy series. Only a few characters suffer from the same face, different body disease, and in one case it makes sense because both characters are related. Also, the character designs for the villains are top-notch as well. And now the cons. Well, this is gonna sound weird, but the acceleration of the story and characters. one in particular. The main problem I have with this series is everything seems to be happening too fast or too easy. In Japanese manga aimed at the shonen age group, typically to be successful you have to follow the adage of friendship, effort, and victory. Basically, the Shonen Jump model. Not all series follow that example. For example, Death Note, which had effort and victory and not friendship, or it had a vague, odd version of it anyway. Over the course of 100 to 106 chapters, Asta has been able to befriend and gain the respect of his rival, which actually happened at the end of the first chapter, has at least 3 love interests by chapter 38, and someone else who wants his body for reasons, defeats the main villains of the given arc without any learned skill or talent, gains the respect and friendship of characters who were showing him disrespect to him within only a few issues time, learning new techniques seemingly just by luck. Him succeeding without going through the struggle is the biggest issue. Within the first 106 chapters, Goku and Dragon Ball had faced defeat by Master Roshi, Tao Pai Pai, and the Red Ribbon Army before being said army. Luffy was still getting his crew together and just barely escaped death by beheading and his fights with Don Krieg and Arlong. In Bleach, Ichigo was unable to get vengeance on his mother's killer, was still licking his wounds from his first major defeat, as well as trying to gain control of his new hollow powers while still he and his friends were trying to save Rukia. One final example, Naruto was still in the Chunin exams, learning new skills and bit by bit earning the respect of the people around him. I'm not saying that the author of Black Clover should stretch out the story and only drop little dollops of development along the way. You can lose reader investment that way, but you can also lose it if there isn't any tension. Okay, so that's the problem, but why did the author go in this direction? While I haven't seen any interviews with him discussing this, I have an idea on why, but in order to do that, we need to look back at his previous series, Hungry Joker. It was an action series that ran in 2012 and follows a scientist and his assistant trying to figure out the secret of a glowing corpse and a black apple. It was cancelled after 24 chapters. I thought it was a fun series, but the readers in Japan probably couldn't get their mind around the concept, and after it took a while to get going, they probably just gave up on it. Now, it's purely conjecture, but I figured that the author probably felt that he couldn't take his time to build with his next series, so he accelerated the pace of Black Clover. By doing that, however, it hurt the development of the series and the characters. I do, however, recommend the series. Despite my issues with the series, I do enjoy it. Over the last couple arcs, some of the supporting cast have started to be focused on more. The villains of the series do seem like they will be a legitimate threat in the future, and their eerie appearances so far has made me more interested in seeing more of them overall. Plus, with the introduction of the Clover King and the fact that we know that there are other kingdoms in this world, this could become a great series of epic proportions. Based on Hungry Joker and earlier chapters of Black Clover, it's obvious the author is highly imaginative. He just needs to slow down the pace and show the heroes and main character, especially, growth under a normal pace. This comic is receiving an anime in a few months, so more people will start reading it. Manga don't get an anime for being a failure. This series has likable characters, great art, and a fun concept. The comic is available in print or digital from Viz Media. Please support the work of the artist. If you like this video, then you can support me on Patreon. If that's asking too much, then just please share this video, click like, comment below, and subscribe. And until my next video, remember to read more comics from around the world and watch more 2D and stop motion animated movies. Venture on.